Promote your brand here at Viral Hip Hop News. Hit me, Sam Ant, at dlsmediainc1 at gmail.com, dlsmediainc1 at gmail.com. Let's go. Welcome to another episode of the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast. I'm your brother, O-God, from Hip Hop News Uncensored, and sitting across from me is my co-host.
What up, y'all? It's your man, Sam Ant, CEO of Viral Hip Hop News. You're in the building for a very special edition of the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast. We got some special guests in the building.
Yeah.
Acclaimed author and speaker Andre Norman's on the podcast, as well as his son, Brooks. What's good with y'all? How y'all feeling today?
We are officially feeling good. AC holding it down.
Yeah.
Nah, we appreciate you. It's only right. We came down to Dev Spot a couple months ago and was gracious enough to have us on your platform, speaking and doing some powerful things. So we definitely appreciate that, and it's only right to have you here in our building doing the same, man. So how you feeling, man? 2023 is here. We know you're a busy brother. You be doing a lot of stuff. So how you feeling?
2023, man, is a year of doing less but getting more done. That's my thing for 2023. And have people do business with people that you want to be with.
All right.
So I was doing business not with everybody, but a lot of people that wasn't really like making me feel better. Like, we did money, we did business, it worked. But you go home, it's kind of like stressful.
Right.
So now I'm doing business. I got a new business partner. So I want to introduce you. They call him Nomadic.
Nomadic, yeah,
Nomadic
that's the artist name.
CEO of Black Phantom Media. And
Okay.
he talked for himself.
Yeah.
So
I'm Nomadic, also known as Brooks, his kid, and I make beats. And
Okay.
I'm also the CEO of Black Phantom Media.
How old are you?
17.
17. You know, I got a 14-year-old, and my God, it's hard to get him off the game. It's hard to get him up and doing anything, let alone trying to be a CEO of a company. Trying to get him there. Want him there, but it's tough. So how was that dynamic, getting your son to work alongside of you, becoming a CEO? Both of y'all speak
It
on that.
started when he was a kid. Well, I let him tell. For me, when he was a kid, I started brainwashing him.
Yeah.
I was like, "Hey, where do you go to school? I don't know. You want some candy? Yes. Say Shady Hill. Then say Phillips Sandler. Then say Harvard. Then say Business School Law Degree." I was just, since he was a kid, he could talk. I was bribing him to have a goal. And I would call him I'd be on the road. I call home like, "Hey, what's our thing?" He said, "I'd be at home." It just became our thing. But he started saying it from when he could talk. So in the back of his brain, since he started talking, high school, college, a specific college, and 2 degrees were built in. It's just part of his everyday life. And then we got him on that track. And when he was 13, I opened up a business credit. I got him an authorized user on my credit card. I bought his domain, brooksnorman.com. This is not like a wow. I woke up this morning. We playing this thing, man, 15 years ago.
Yeah, dope.
Smart. For me, as the one doing the work, he put me in a lot of different things like Forex trading, and he put me in business seminars, and he take me to a lot of his speeches too, and I just see what's going on.
Dope.
Let's go back to your upbringing. Let us know, just because before he was here, you was here. So tell us, where you grew up, how you grew up, and kind of just bring us up and to present day. You can.
Grew up in Boston, Massachusetts. Shout out to the Bean 617.
Yeah.
Saying all the homies, man. Forever got my Patriots hat on. You know what I'm saying, but grew up in the city. Basic, man. We struggling. Poor family. Free lunch kid. Trying to get in. I'm not athletic. I'm not academic. So I just kind of drift. And then I find my way to the street, hanging with the homies, and just get out in the streets more and more, chasing girls, chasing money. I started off stealing from the corner store. I want you to think I was like just came out Rico drug lord. I stole food from the corner store because I was hungry.
Yeah.
On the way to school, we used to steal from the corner store. Started out shoplifting, and that became okay. Then we started out doing other stuff, and it became okay, and became okay. And before long, I'm out robbing people full time with guns, and you go to the penitentiary.
Yeah.
I get to the penitentiary, man, and it's like a reunion of all my friends from the dummy class, all my friends from the principal's office, all my friends from juvie. We're all at the penitentiary. They were like, "Yo, Dre, what took you so long? We knew you was coming. They were expecting me."
Damn.
And I got in, I rolled with the team, and for 6 years, we just hustled every day. I woke up one day and said, "Man, I'm the king of nowhere. This is not really popping. This is not lit. All the people I say ain't shit. All the people I say, man, I don't respect, man, cussing the gods out, they go home every night.
Yeah.
And I'm still here locked in a cell by myself. I said, man, I'm doing something wrong. So I said, I got to get a new goal. I got to go. I said, I want to go home and go to Harvard University and be successful. It was a crazy goal, but it was my goal. Nobody believed me. Taught myself how to read, taught myself the law, flipped my case on appeal, and decided going to programs, anger management every day. When I came home, I started working, and for 23 years I've been home. We do numbers.
Yeah.
We've done more numbers than anybody. There's nobody's walked out of the prison in the last 50 years and put their resume on the table next to mine. It's not a competition.
Right.
I teach. Anybody who know me say, yo, dudes from LA call me, from Detroit call me, from New York, from Chi, from Florida, yo, Texas, yo, Dre, and I teach them the game for free. Can't nobody tell you, oh, Dre taught, paid, charged me to learn how to be this and how to do that.
Right.
If you came home from the penitentiary, you trying to level up and you was a soldier and a general, I'll teach you hands down, no blink. I've been teaching for 23 years to us who've come home from the penitentiary.
Where was the switch? Because you come home from the penitentiary, you say you're going to go to Harvard. You got goals leaving out of the penitentiary, but you got to get out of there and then obviously adapt yourself back into the normal life of a human being. Talk about that journey, getting from leaving the penitentiary to really getting out here and doing what you said you were going to do.
The key to being successful when you come home from prison is doing it while you're in prison. There's no magic dust they throwing you on the way out the door. If you're in jail smoking weed every day, you'll be smoking when you come home. If you inside hustling all day, you'll be hustling when you come home. If you inside studying all day, you'll be studying when you come home. So people think I can do it to the door and then flip a switch. It don't work like that. For the last 8 years of my sentence, I went to programs 8, 10, 12, 15 hours a day. I'm reading and studying 8, 12, 15 hours a day. So I put myself in that mindset, in that mode that I'm gone. Then when I first came home, I got that drive, I got that bounce to keep doing what I've been doing for 8 years. I developed habits and become internalized. And to the point where I woke up one day at my uncle's house, I was sleeping on the couch, and it was a couch a little longer than this, and my clothes on the trash bag at the end of the couch. I woke up, I said, man, if my homies in the penitentiary could see me, they would laugh at me. Look at me sleeping on the couch, my clothes in a plastic bag, looking like a clown. I said, I can go out here tomorrow, do a quick stick up, get my money, get on my feet, get right, and go back to being good the day after. I thought that.
Yeah.
Right.
I said, man, Dre, that's not the plan.
Right.
I got 8 years invested into this plan. So when the challenge came, there was something in me to say, nah, Dre. I lay back down on that couch. I said, I'm not going to quit.
Right.
I'm going to stick to my plan. And that plan is taking me to Harvard. It's taking me to London Business School. It's taking me to 30 countries. It's taking me all over the world. And I stuck to my plan.
Deep.
Like,
It was an 8-year run to get ready to deal with adversity.
Yeah.
You kind of answered my question a little bit. I was going to ask you about, the temptation to kind of, reverse and go back. But talk about the discipline and consistency that you had to, follow each and every day to make sure that your plan actually came into fruition.
I get up in the penitentiary. You got a bunch of people who are hurt, who are distraught, who are hustlers, who are going for it,
Right.
and they're already giving up to one level. They don't realize they've given up, but they're in the penitentiary, not trying to get out. I caught cases in jail.
Okay.
My mother said, "How'd you get in jail? I said, Mom, I'm working hard. I'm in solitary."
Yeah.
She said, "You went to jail. They gave you a regular room. Now you in the basement. How you get in the basement?" Because I wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing. I was compounding my trauma. So until you let go of your trauma and start doing the trauma work, I'm saying you can be as tough or as cool as you want. I had trauma law.
Got you.
Until I worked on that, my potential was never blocking my success. It was always my pain.
I want to equate your 8-year plan in prison to business, right? Because I remember us having a conversation with a comedian a couple years ago, and this is when we were starting to move, starting to get views, things start popping. He said, you got to be on a 12-year plan. And at that time, we like, shit, 12 years? Who's doing 12 years? You crazy. And as we go through this journey, 5 years in now, we start to see that that's the path a little more realistic than the path that we thought we was just going to get here today and tomorrow and be there. Talk about how planning and making that blueprint and the amount of time that it took, how that equates to business and how you find success creating plans in business as well, and how that equated from prison to real life.
When I was in prison, I'm surrounded by negativity. Great people who were negative spirits.
Yeah.
And I had to learn to navigate them. And because they were my friends. I don't disown or unknow people. I just had to do a different thing.
Right.
So I had to deal with my friends, but still stay in my path. I'm saying distance myself, but still stay close to the team. So it's like that balancing act. And I just had to say, I got to study. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing in the rule book. There's nothing in the code book of being a gangster, a gang member, a penitentiary warlord, or whatever you want to call yourself about reading. There's no rule that says you can't read. There's no rule that they've ever laid out in any penitentiary across this country saying you can't get a GED. I done been in prisons across this country and seen every set, every crew you know. Nobody has it in their charter. You can't read. You can't get a GED. You can't try to fight your case. And you can't fraternize with certain people. You can't do and go with certain things. You can't get high. There's some shit you can't do.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Fighting your case is not on the list. Reading and getting a GED is not on the list. Studying is not on the list. But we just don't do them. So I started saying, I got to do what I got to do now.
Mm-hmm.
And the first thing I had to do was look in the mirror and say, what's inside of me is stopping my goal from happening. I spent my whole life blaming my dad, blaming my mom, blaming the hood, blaming rich white folks, blaming the school. Never I said, well, what role did I play? I said, dude, you can't read because you didn't go to class. Bro, you got anger problems because you didn't get help. You was me. So I started working on me. And stopped worrying about what the next man was thinking or doing, or I was projecting my life onto somebody else. I started projecting my life responsibility on me. And it was a heavy weight, but I learned to carry it. Right. And I'm out here now. If I don't do it, it don't get done.
Yeah.
I got 3 people I just hired. And I've been on the road, so their training hasn't been what it is, and they're not where I want them to be. Mm-hmm. So I used to hire people and expect you to just get it and do it.
Yeah.
And I realized, no, I got to sit with you for 3 weeks to get my culture, to get my mindset. And if I don't do the 3 weeks, then you're not going to get it, and you're not going to be successful, and I'm going to blame you.
Yeah.
When it was me. So being responsible for the things you put in place.
Now talk about this, dream that you had to Harvard, and talk about how that actually came to fruition.
I was sitting in prison, and I realized being the king of nowhere wasn't working. So I said, I want to be free. So I want to go home. I don't want to be here no more. It was the first time I've been in the penitentiary I said that. I want to go home. Because I got to the penitentiary, everybody around me was doing life sentences. I didn't understand it, but all the homies that I was hanging with had a life.
Wow.
So they taught me how to do time. So I'm doing time like a lifer. But I'm not a lifer.
Right.
But I'm doing time like a lifer.
Right.
And I said, when I finally realized I wanted to go home, I said, well, I want to be free. Then I looked at the white guys, the black guys, the Spanish guys, the Dominicans, the cool guys, the short, tall, the chess players, the philosophers, everybody, kitchen workers. Everybody got free, came back. You know why? Free's the parking lot. Wow. That's all free is.
Wow. Right.
Free is the parking lot. So once you hit the parking lot, you're technically free. So when you get there, they say, what you going to do now? I don't know. My plan was to get here. So I had to get a plan beyond the parking lot. So my plan beyond the parking lot, I said, who doesn't come to jail? I said, successful people. Where do successful people come from? College. So I picked a college called Harvard. I only picked it because I'm from Boston, so I only supposed to know the name of it.
Right. Okay. Wow.
So I didn't know the name of like 50. If I said pick a soccer team from Europe, what would you say?
Manchester United.
But it's 30 different teams.
Right.
That's the only one you know the name of. So I said, you got to be a soccer fan. Yeah, Man United.
Yeah.
So they say, I got to go to college. I said, Harvard. It's the only one I knew the name of. So I picked that and I started doing the work. I got my GED. Why won't they let me in? I don't have a GED. Why won't they let me in? I got anger issues. Why won't they let me in? Because I'm violent. So I started working on those things.
Indeed. Now, Brooks, I got a question for you, man. 17 years old. And 17 is way different than when we were 17. It's way different than when you were 17. It's different out here. You got social media. Hip-hop's different. It's a whole barrage of things that, as a young man, you have to deal with.
Yeah.
You're a business owner right now. That's power in that. But talk about the pure pressures of being 17. Talk about how your friends move. Do they give influence on how you move? Talk about just being a 17-year-old young brother out here.
Okay. So being 17 now is a lot different because social media plays a big part in how you see yourself and how others see you. So depending on what it is that you're into, what it is that you want to do, you could be a musician, you could be a rapper, you could be an artist.
Right.
And regardless of what it is that you're doing, you want your social media to pop.
Got you.
So when so many people our age put that much value on social media, because it's like almost like a Tinder profile, for example.
Yeah.
Or for like friends, whoever is coming to see your stuff. When you put that much value on it, it starts to stress people out, like tremendously.
Yeah.
Like I've seen it go over the top where people are like refreshing their likes, like glued to their screen, looking for the comments, looking for the interactions, looking for the what's the word for it? I think it's
engagement.
Yeah, engagement. Yeah, thank you. So, yeah, but me as a 17-year-old, I moved around a lot when I was younger. I live in London right now. So that switch kind of changed the way I see the world, because I saw I moved to Liberia when I was 7. So when I moved there, I saw a different type of life, and like I saw a different aspect of life and like quality of life for other people. So it kind of widened my perspective a bit more than like the average person I might hang out with. So now when I'm rolling around with my friends, I only keep like a small circle. So we're all cool. But I'd say social media is like a plague. Real talk.
Yeah.
To say that at 17 is power in that, because a lot of kids live on that. My son's trying to get on there. He's 14. I'm like, nah, chill. Take your time. I'll give you the phone. You can play the game, but just chill on that social media shit for now. What you need it for? They ain't trying to hear that.
And if it's on it, they want it.
Exactly.
I mean, I try and just use my social media to promote what I'm doing at the time. Like I try and use it as like a landing page.
Right.
Yeah, getting into beat making.
Oh, okay.
How'd that work? How'd that come to fruition? Yeah.
I think I was about 12, 13,
Okay.
and I was with him actually. We were in I think North Carolina, and we were passing through, and we stopped at his friend's studio, and I just thought it was so cool, like listening to the music and stuff.
Right.
And he was talking to his friend, so I went into one of the booths or like one of the rooms, and I started making a beat
Mm-hmm.
on FL Studio. I didn't really know how to make beats for real, so then another producer came in and like he played a piano bit for me, and then I just started adding to it, and I made my first beat. And I was like, that's cool, and
Right.
I just started running with it for real.
Wow.
Talk about the evolution of beat making, or I mean, talk about your evolution of beat making. Because even back in the day when I first got into it, it was the MP, and then it's evolved and evolved, and now everything is digital.
Yeah.
Everything's on the computer. You know what I'm saying? So, talk about how your music and your beat making has evolved since you first started.
Since I first started, I've definitely improved my rhythm and my keys abilities. So I'll come up with maybe a whole song in my head or a harmony or a hook or something, and my ability to get it out the way I want it to sound has improved definitely. And I'd say my style has changed more from kind of stuck in a subgenre like trap or boom
Mm-hmm.
bap, and I've just kind of expanded to everything. Like I make Afro beats to boom bap to trap to everything in between.
Dope.
Right. Now you said you live in London. You travel to Liberia. You lived in Liberia.
Yeah, with my mom.
How was that experience, man? I know it had to be a life changing experience to go to Africa.
Definitely.
Right.
When I first moved there, I didn't really want to be there
Right.
because I was away from my friends. I hadn't really moved that much. I hadn't ever changed houses or anything.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a big jump. And then once I got there, I started making friends and like I saw what the lifestyle was like.
Mm-hmm.
I started to enjoy it more because
Okay.
even though my school may not have been the best school, it was a nice community.
Okay.
So I could always chill with my friends, or I'd be at my friend's house, or we go somewhere like just go swim.
Right.
And it was it was very I think it was an important forming part of my life because it changed how I see the world, because I
Okay.
saw the other side. Because when you're in Boston or like you're in wherever you live in the
Mm-hmm.
West, you have a perception of what Africa might be like because of all the um, GoFundMe ads or the
Yeah.
donations. But then when you're actually there, it's completely different. But it was also empowering for me because I got to see black people in charge. Even though it was corrupt, it was still nice to see.
Mm-hmm.
Dope. We appreciate that. I want to transition back to you, Mr. Norman, because the last time we talked to you out at the studio, you showed us these right here. And when you described what this tablet was and what it was used for, it was life changing for me because I couldn't believe that this was even going on. Us having a platform and knowing that there's people in prisons that I didn't even know that they indulged in content. Then you
Right.
showed us these, and it was like, holy shit! Like the opportunities, the impact that this makes is incredible. Let our viewers know exactly what this tablet is, what it's for, and how you've taken it to whole new levels in the prison system.
There's a company called Aventi, which is a parent company, which owns a company called Securus, which owns a company called JPay. So it's all one family.
Okay.
And JPay is the thing when people call home, talking about, hey, collect call, it's Securus. They talk about they want to download their music and they want to listen to music, it's on JPay. So this is we call them a JPay tablet, even though it's not the technical name.
Mm-hmm.
But in jail, it's JPay. Because JPay technically runs the music and all the platforms. That's been the branded name. There are a million of these for the most part in use around the country.
Wow.
So there's probably 1 million people sitting in prison cells. This is how they get their education. This is how they get their entertainment.
Mm.
This is how they talk to their family. This is how they do video visits, how they visit their family, all of this. Because if you take a prison with 2,000 people in it, a classroom might hold 50 people.
Right.
So the GED class can only hold 50, but there's another almost 2,000 people waiting to get in.
Man.
With this, everybody can take a class. You know what I'm saying? So with this, you waiting on the phone, there's like 200 dudes in the block, there's 5 phones. Now everybody got their own phone. You know what I'm saying? So there's no more waiting in line, or you can't just because there's no room. So this makes it equal for everybody to have access. And so when it comes to entertainment and education, you can take college classes, you can take GED, you can take world history, you can take different languages, you can come on here and study whatever you want. And the vice president of the company, back about 4 years ago, I ran into him. He says, Dre, why are you not on these tablets? People in prison need to see you. And I sat with the CEO, a guy named Dave Abel. He said, Andre, you're one of the most phenomenal speakers I've ever heard. But when you go into a prison, you might have 200, 300, 400 people in the auditorium. So I'm gonna put you in front of a million.
Wow.
So this one video that we're making right now, I hit a button, a million people see it. I just went to a prison in New York a couple weeks ago. There was like 100 people in the audience. I spoke and inspired 100 people. If I went in the studio, shot that same joint, I can inspire a million people. So he says, right, we need to maximize and expand your voice. And for me, the dilemma is I don't get the instant gratification of being in front of you and seeing you get it.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to make you get it. You're going to be like, boom, light bulb goes off.
Right.
I don't get that. So I lose that. And I'm better in person than I'm on video, but I can inspire 200 or I can touch 1 million.
It's incredible.
Yeah, that's incredible. Talk about the music aspect of it, as far as people getting their music on there, and the music that the prisoners are listening to.
Well, when it comes to the music part, I'm not a music guy.
Okay.
That's why, the cool thing was my son decided he loved music.
Right.
I'm going to tell you, he was probably 13 years old. It was basketball, some kind of practice, right? He said, I don't want to go to practice. I said, yes. I was so happy.
Right.
When he didn't want to go to practice, I did not push him. You need to really go. Give it your. I was like, yes. I grabbed a business book. Bang! Here, read this.
Right.
You're gonna own it. We were with Robert Kraft 2 days ago.
Wow.
So
man,
$12.5 billion. He owns the team.
Yeah.
I want my son to own the team.
Right.
Not play for the team. So when he decided that day he wanted to go to practice, I didn't push. I didn't say nothing. I threw that equipment in the trash. Got him a business book.
Right.
I've been giving him business books ever since. And so this business is built for him. I'm a motivation. I have a phenomenal life. I'm good. So I said, what can I do that he wants to do? I've never done music until he said he liked music. So he likes music, I'm getting into music. So I'm going to build him his own company. He has a platform where there's 1 million people in prison who need entertainment, education, music. And he has to give back. I want him to stay connected. His dad grew up in jail.
Yeah.
He doesn't know that life.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he needs to understand that those are us.
Yeah.
That's us now. Your cousins are in there. Your uncles are in there. Your neighborhood's in there. So his social giving is going to be social / entrepreneurial, where he's going to bring education, entertainment, and enlightenment to people who need light at the same time make a profit.
Power.
Super powerful. Now, black parents, let's keep it there. You don't see them saying, great, throw the basketball jersey away. Great, throw the football uniform away. Here's this business card. That ain't typical. It's grab that mic. Boy, you better dribble that ball. Do this because this is our way out. Not everybody, and it's definitely changing with the times, but that's typically what we heard. We had to dribble. We had to shoot. We had to score a touchdown. To get on a microphone to be successful. What made you say, nah, not for my kid, not mine. He won't dribble. He won't shoot. He won't score. He will own. That's power. Where did that? I mean, I obviously I have an idea where that mindset came from, but where did you say, nope, this is what we're doing?
There's a multitude of things. There's too many athletes and entertainers who end up broke.
Yep.
So that doesn't work.
Right.
It's like I want to be free. That's the parking lot. I want to be an athlete. It doesn't work. What's the back end of being an athlete? What's the back end of being a professional? Ownership. And I'm around. I have over 100 mentors. All of them super successful, super wealthy, whatever you want to call it. And I watch them. They all own stuff. And so I understand. I know people who own teams. I'm saying multitude. I can give you like 10 teams. I know the owners. And I go to lunch with them, go to dinner with them, hang out with them. So I see how they move. And it's not much more to it than owning than being an employee. you can go work for a LLC or you can start an LLC.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a mindset shift. So I just want him to, the biggest thing I can give my son, the biggest thing I can give him as a dad who's going to move on is his time. You spend 8-10 hours a day working for somebody over the course of 40 years, and that's like a 30-year day and a 30-year life showing up to punch a clock. So if I can make him a CEO of his own company, then he gets his time back. And he can do whatever he wants to do from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m., whatever he wants to do, because his business is running without him.
That's powerful. Now, but now back to the tablets here, the JPEG tablets. Could people, like regular people, get their content on that? Is there a process of doing that, or is it just whoever
Listen,
Right.
he owns a company
Right.
right now, Black Family Media,
Okay.
that you can send your content to him.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be screened, has to be radio edits and the rest of that. And
Right.
yes, it can go on. And two things. Yes, it can monetize. You can give me a song. We'll give it to him. We can put it on the platform, and 1 million people see your song and have the ability to buy it.
Wow.
But our thing is this: if all you want to do is monetize Black people in jail, we ain't rocking with you.
Gotcha.
You got to give them something too.
Yeah.
Some people can't afford to buy your music. Some people can't afford. So if you're gonna give 5 songs, then you can sell a song. We don't have the ratio worked out, but it's not gonna be all make money off people in prison. You gotta bless them.
Mm-hmm.
I have probably like 50 videos on it. They're all free.
Right.
Because I'm trying to help people.
Yeah.
Money will come, but you got to give first.
Yeah.
Now, how does it work on the legal side? With, like, let's say they register this song on like a DistroKid or a TuneCore or something. Now their song is registered, allowed to get streams, but they give you the song not for sale, but just to stream.
Right.
How does that work from a monetary value for the artist? Can they still give and also get from a streaming value?
We have nothing to do with your streaming. If you're on DistroKid, you're on Apple Music, Spotify, God bless you. We got nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
We're rocking out right here. We got 1 million people right here that this is his own independent system.
Yeah.
So your song goes on here for free or for pay, and we track your numbers here, and then you get paid based on these numbers. Nothing to do with anything out in the world. And it's not streaming.
Right.
It's they buy the song.
Gotcha.
So you put a song on, let's say it's $2. Put your song on, 10,000 people buy it, that's $20,000. Then we do percentage splits from there. Whatever the price of the song is, it sells. It's not like you got to do 10 million streams, you get $3.
Right.
That's the hustle. We sell music.
Could they stream and also give that song to you at the same time?
I don't care where they stream their music.
That's on them.
Yeah, that's on them. I ain't gonna do with that.
Right.
Our deals are with this platform. We have nothing to do with stream. It's downloads.
Yeah.
It's not like stream like you go on Apple Music, $10 a month, you stream something. Each individual has one of these. You have to hit the button and download your song and pay the $2 or the $3 or the $1.50, whatever the price is.
Interesting.
Any plans for expansion? You said you had 1 million, people now that have this tablet. Any plans for expansion?
We want to decrease because there's only so many people in prison.
Right.
We don't want more people in prison.
I understand.
So the people who are there, we're providing access to. We're not trying to increase prison beds to sell more records.
I understand.
I'm saying, so the expansion is we're putting educational and business stuff on the outside. So when you come home, you want your son to be a CEO, you can talk to my son when you come home.
Right.
I'm saying, you want to learn how to be a CEO or you learn how to teach your son, you can talk to me on the outside. So we'll have it here. Mm-hmm. There'll also be collaborating classes that go outside.
I feel like it would make sense for an artist because, like, let's say I'm an inmate and I'm looking through songs and I see a song and the thumbnail looks cool and all this stuff, but I don't know who that artist is, but you want me to buy your music. Would it make more sense for an artist to give away some of that stuff for a business perspective to get some type of following and go, oh, yeah, this is my dog. Now, all of a sudden, he got a song because he gave me 6 for free, got one for 99 cents. I know I'm going to buy this.
That makes sense.
He has a show. It's going to be kind of like, we're going to keep it 100. 106 in Park and the Arsenio Hall show. He's going to have 106 in Park. Mm-hmm. I'm going to have my version of Arsenio Hall show.
Okay.
You're an artist.
Yeah. Right.
You come on his show and you do the interview on the couch. You get up there, you sing your song. He's going to say, hey, go buy Sam music in a media store.
Right.
You're a little bit older. You come on my show, like the Arsenio Hall show. I interview you. You go out there, you do your song. I'm like, yo, go buy. So they're going to get a chance to see you.
Right.
Because my show is the most watched show on the platform right now. So we'll do a show and we'll introduce people to people.
Dope.
Yeah, definitely.
So if you want to be on the show, Hit him up.
BPM.
Let me ask you this, brother. Because, like I said, I got a 14-year-old. We got dads. We ain't always listen to our pops. It was through one ear and out the other. We ain't want to hear none of that. We wanted to hear and do what we wanted to do.
At least he was in the room. I didn't get a chance not to hear.
Right. Exactly. Talk about that. Like, just how well did you receive your father's information early on? Was it something? Was it trial and error? Was it like you had to make some mistakes and go, yeah, pop, you know what you right? Or were you gung ho right from the jump?
I was not gung ho.
Never are.
Nah. When I was younger, I didn't want to read the books, but if I wanted to do stuff outside of going out of the house, I'd have to read the books. So it just became kind of a habit when I was with him. And then aside from that, when he started putting me in like Forex and taking me to the seminars, Forex I probably should have kept doing in hindsight because I was decent at it, but I didn't want to do it. So it was kind of one ear out the other kind of thing. So I stopped. And then motivational speaking seminars, it was a similar thing that I just didn't want to do. And then I found something that I enjoyed, and then we kind of met in the middle.
That was the music.
Yeah.
No, when you told your father you wanted to do music, how was that conversation?
Yeah, true question.
You know something? He was more supportive than I was expecting him to be.
Dope.
For real. Well, so when I said I wanted to do music, he said, "All right, let's see where you're at now. Let me see you put in work." So I put in work for like a year, and then we upgraded the space, and then more work, and then he started putting me in bigger spaces. So it's kind of a thing where if he sees I'm taking it seriously and he sees I'm actually putting in effort, then he'll support me.
Beautiful, man.
Well, we gotta give a shout out to Yonkers, to Harlem, my man Giant, who couldn't be here today, from the bartenders.
Okay.
He came. Giant's my workout guy. So Giant's at the house. He comes in. He's like, Uncle Giant. He's like, yeah, I'm doing beats. He's like, yo, Jada, my man. I said, call him. He picked up the phone. He called Jada. He's like, yo, my nephew, man, he's doing beats. He want to come holler at you. Jada said, come on.
Wow.
We tried to get a plane that night. We couldn't get a public or private plane. Everything was shut. It was too late. First flight in the morning, we fly to Yonkers. We walk in. Jada receives him at the studio. They sit in the studio, man. He plays his beats for him. All love.
Wow.
No blame.
How dope was that? How dope was that?
For real.
Like,
Yeah.
Top 5.
I know you don't like to give pops credit, and I know kids don't like to do that, but how dope is that to go, we out of here.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That was a Giant thing.
That was crazy.
That was
Salute the Giant.
So talk about New England Patriots. You talk with
6
them.
championships.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
shit.
know.
6 championships. With one quarterback.
Yeah.
The GOAT. He's the GOAT.
He is the GOAT.
6 out of 9.
Yeah.
Technically, 6 out of 10.
We beat you one of them. Remember that? Beat you one.
We're 1-1.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm glad you got one.
Yeah. Hopefully get another one soon. But
Mark Wahlberg played the story of y'all guy. Y'all did the Invincible. That
Yeah.
was the Boston guy that played that.
yeah, true.
Yeah, shout out
That's the guy that come see us get the Invincible story told.
Yeah.
Boston Bruce.
Now, you watch football a little different than we did. I'm bad to cut you.
I
Again.
watched the Super Bowl. Y'all watched preseason.
I'm not a y'all. I'm even further down.
He's
than
a
him.
Washington. He Washington
I'm
fan.
further
so that's
down
even
than him.
worse.
I can't talk right now.
He got some rings though.
Yeah, I was 7 years old. I was a child.
I remember. Listen, I was in the Feds when the Giants were and the DC boys. They for real on their football team.
Yeah, it's a shame what we got going on right now, unfortunately. But you sitting there chilling with Robert Kraft and seeing the owners and stuff. How cool! Just you know what I mean. At the end of the day, you're still the same brother that you was. You know what I mean? Just the mindset changed. But how incredible is that to know where you came from to just be able to go? Do you even think about that kind of stuff?
Foxborough Stadium or Gillette Stadium, where they're based, is 5 miles from the prison that I lived in.
Damn.
Wow.
So we used to sit in the prison. If they had a concert at the stadium, we'd hear it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If they had a flyover, we'd see it.
Yeah.
So to go that 5 miles was impossible in my mind. And I told him, I said, not long ago, I sat in solitary confinement 5 miles from here in the dark, trying to find my way out. And I found my way out, and now I'm standing here. And I ask people, what's your solitary confinement? And what's your goal on the other end? I wanted to go to Harvard. What's your Harvard? And where's your solitary? You have to know where you are, like it or not, and know where you want to go. So it's for me, like I said, I kidnap him, take him with me. He coming with me. I want to go to my friends. All right, you'll see them later. You know what I'm saying? The difference is when he pulls up, to go see his friends. He's gonna have a business running in the background.
Yeah.
They're gonna pull up, and they're gonna have jobs waiting for them.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Unfortunately. I mean, not unfortunately, but just how the
That's
world
their
goes.
choice.
That's their choice.
Yeah.
Do you see envy from that,
Do I see
Brooks?
envy?
Yeah, like do you? Because I mean, obviously, your mindset and and the way you're moving is completely different than a lot of your friends are, right? And the mindset's completely different. Do you see, unfortunately, that sometimes some of your friends may not give you that support that you would think that they would?
The people, I'm not naming names, but the people that were that way, I don't talk to them anymore. So
Go,
that's
go,
it.
man. You got one, man.
He's the only one I got.
You got one, man.
I want to ask you something real quick about the football again. No, you was with the Patriots the other day, and we seen what happened to Damar Hamlin
Yeah,
the other day.
yeah.
Talk about that and talk about the atmosphere. 'Cause I know a lot of teams were kind of like going through it. I heard.
It was a 3-day event with the Patriots. We
Right.
went to a game on Sunday. Got to go on the field and see people.
Okay.
Then Monday, I spoke to the players, some of the players and the coaches. And then Monday night, we watched Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Brother gets hurt.
Right.
Yeah.
I go back in Tuesday to speak to the staff.
Right.
Marketing, advertising, sponsorship. And even though it wasn't a Patriot player,
Mm-hmm.
they're looking at the Patriot players like it could have been you.
Yep.
There's no differential.
Right.
It's a family. They're teams. They play against each other, but it's all family.
Mm-hmm.
There was nobody on the opposing team rooting that man was down.
Right.
I'm saying it's like we play a game. We've been playing since we was kids. We played in the football field in the schoolyards as kids.
Yeah.
We wanted to beat you.
Mhm.
We
Yeah.
want to see you get hurt though.
Right.
So
Right.
it's always that. We played since we was kids of all sports. And we never wanted to see somebody get hurt.
Right.
And when you see someone get hurt, it makes your mortality come into effect.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So we definitely was just like, it was sad to see.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was one of those, I won't call it a freak accident. It's like, I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
Watching football my whole life. I've never seen that before.
Right.
And I'm just sorry that it had to happen. And we're just hoping he gets well better.
Sure.
He gets better soon.
Sure.
Indeed. Well, we definitely appreciate your time, Andre Norman Brooks, on the Hip Hop and Center podcast. We're not going to hold you up too much longer.
Top 10.
We're going to get into that right now.
Okay.
Thank you. We're going to talk about the top 10 hip hop artists on the JPEG app. It's called the JPEG app, right?
Yeah. JP's in the building.
JPEG tablet. They got a top 10 in this joint. So if you want to be in the top 10, you got to figure out how to get on the tablet. You want to figure out how to get on the tablet, you got to talk to these brothers right here.
Prisonbillboards.com.
Say it again
Check
for
it
them.
out. Prisonbillboards.com.
Give us your top 10, man.
All right.
No. This is not my top 10. This is the top 10 of the people inside the numbers.
Right.
Dirk did a song and was like, yo, you don't count my JPay streams.
Yeah.
We count JPay streams.
Yeah.
We can count the streams. Because again, we went to the company.
Mm-hmm.
We do business with the company. We ain't just like some third-party vendor.
Okay.
So we in the building. We're the only one with that list.
Oh, okay.
We're
Okay.
the only one. You can't get that list no place else on the planet.
Right.
You don't get it from us.
Okay.
So he has the top numbers: movies, TV shows, games, albums, and singles. We're just doing the singles and the albums today, but this is he got them for the year.
So,
Get out the way.
so for 2022, the top 10 songs on JPay, starting at 10, was Before I Go featuring Rod Wave, by
Mhm.
Kodak Black. Number 9 was Take You Back featuring Lil Durk by Kodak Black. 7, In a Minute by Lil Baby. 6, Broken Love by MO3. 5, Get Even by Finesse 2 Times. 4, Outside Better Days by MO3. 3, Super Gremlin by Kodak. Save Me by Jelly Roll that's 3.
Mhm.
Save Me by Jelly Roll. 2 is I Hate You, I Love You featuring Olivia O'Brien by Nash. Number 1 is Dear God featuring Kevin Gates by FL Dusa.
It's interesting. Do y'all got like ages on like the demographic on how old the inmates are? No.
Now it says you're 18 to 60.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like more people 18 to like 30, 35 are the ones listening to Kodak and
Because of the
Baby.
music, right?
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
it's- What does that say? That the age demographic, them young, just so much youth sitting
I was in
behind
prison at
bars.
18.
That's
Mhm.
scary.
18 to 32. I was in prison.
Wow. That's like your whole youth life for the most part.
Do you think the system is set up to grab at that time? Like,
The system is not the prison system sits.
Mm-hmm.
It's like McDonald's. McDonald's, they say McDonald's food is not good for you, blah, 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 blah. or this isn't good for you, is McDonald's setting traps.
Nah, you sit there and
They sit there.
Yeah.
So the prison itself is just sitting there.
Yeah.
McDonald's isn't out. There's nobody on the corner spinning the sign. That's the insurance people.
Right.
Come in here. We got a sale.
Right.
I've never seen anybody out on the corner in front of McDonald's spinning the sign saying we got a sale. Please come in.
Right.
We willingly go in. And we'll say, I eat McDonald's personally, but we'll say McDonald's, it's not good for that. But we willingly go in.
Mm-hmm.
So there's nobody forcing anybody to be a stick-up kid. There's nobody forcing anybody to be a hustler. These are choices that we make because 90% of our community doesn't go to prison.
Yeah.
90% of our community doesn't end up in the penitentiary. So it's not a mandatory. It's an option. Oh, I had to get mine. Yeah, there's other ways to get mine. The word I'm not hearing is I don't want to work at McDonald's. I don't want to work at Home Depot. I don't want to clean cars.
Right.
I don't. So instead of me, I don't want to go to college. I don't want to go to trade school. I don't. So it leaves me with the options of, well, I got to feed myself. Because there's a rule. You must eat.
Yeah.
And if you're not educated, you're not employed, and you're not viable, then you won't do what you have to do now. What's left to do. It's not what you had to do, it's what's left for you.
Powerful.
Even the people at the bottom of the ramp begging for change, they can be out robbing somebody.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
ain't gonna beg for change. They're out there begging for change. That's their hustle.
Right.
They ain't hurting nobody. I decided to take a different route. Then I want to blame the system. Oh, the prison trapped me. The school system didn't help me. Court system didn't help me.
Yeah.
My mother would say they'll set traps for you. And if you choose to jump into it, it's your choice. They definitely will set a trap.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's next? What's on the agenda that you can talk about? Any speaking engagements, anything? What's next as far as business? Okay. Then let's roll them. Roll them out.
So
Roll
the
'em
top
out.
20 albums. Sorry, no, top 10.
Okay.
So
throwing me off.
First one was singles, and now we talking
Yeah,
albums.
we're talking albums now. All right, so number 10 is Gangsta Art by Yo Gotti. Oh, no, actually, sorry. You do that again. Number 10 is What It Means to Be King by King Von. Number 9 is Gangsta Art by Yo Gotti. Number 8 is From the Bayou by Young Boy Never Broke Again. 7 is Colors by Young Boy Never Broke Again. 6 is I Never Felt Nothing by ESTG. 6 is Free Game by Yo Gotti. 5 is It's Only Me by Baby. I think by Good. 7-2-2-20 by Lil Durk, and Back for Everything by Kodak.
How do you gauge how many times it's listening? How often do you do reports? Is it like a monthly report that you do, a weekly report to gauge how many times people are listening to these songs and albums?
It'll probably be a monthly report of streams, and then by the end of the year, you can figure out who's on top, who's middle, who's bottom.
Gotcha. And why was it important for you to do the top 10 list for the albums and singles and movies and things like that?
Because for me as a musician, I find it interesting to know what people are listening to, and I can kind of gauge the sound that's popular right now. So Kodak Black, Youngboy, Lil Baby, Durk.
Yeah.
Those are some like big ones that stick out to me. I understand what kind of sound that is, so now I know I can tailor my music and my scouting to that because I'm trying to bring people what they want.
So
the one thing, there's one album on there you never heard of. Good.
Yeah.
That's a lady who's in prison who Lecrae made a song with. And she is like the number 2 selling artist on JPEG. A prisoner in California won a contest, and Lecrae did a song with her, and that song got put on the platform, and people supported it because they're like, yo, there's one of us. We're inside, she's inside. They supported her album, number 2 selling for the year. And people inside can make music. Now the thing is, you can't have samples, you can't have all that extra stuff, but we try to get more people from the inside to do this. And we get these reports every week. So it's just about how we have to put the machine together like you have. I was going to ask you questions. How do we put this machine together? I don't know anything about podcasting, about just media stuff. So we're going to ask you, how do we set this up where we can crank this out every week? And then we want to do an award show. We want to do a prison tour.
Yeah.
So if you're like, we want to do an award show at the end of the year where the top artists come on and boom. We want to do a prison tour. We take around, go to all the different prisons. The people you're listening to won't pull up on you and play your music for you live. That's what we want to do. And then we want to get into programming. So, okay, here's entertainment. For me, here's the educational part. I'm a motivational speaker. I fly around the world. I get paid a lot of money to get on stage. I can teach that. I learned that in prison. This guy named Tom Coons taught me how to do speaking. And I can teach that the way I was taught. So my big thing is the award show, the countdown show, I'm saying the tour, and then the educational pieces will get you to listen on the music, then we slide you the education on the back end.
Do y'all do comedy on there too?
Do comedy. Definitely.
Dope.
It's gotta be clean.
Okay, so no cursing, nothing like that.
Well, clean comedy. Clean comedy. Make it easy, clean comedy.
Radio edit comedy.
Radio edit.
Okay, so like even the singles and stuff that y'all got there, not the explicit
Zero
those are the radio edit version.
Okay.
Man, this is dope. This got my wheels spinning. Just the opportunities and the capabilities that this has, and the business that you're running is phenomenal job, both of you. You know what I mean? Doing what you're doing for you to lay the foundation and the blueprint for your son to go and take off, for you to have enough ambition to go and listen to what your father said and run with it. Salute to y'all, man. It's definitely a motivation. I want to ask you both a question. You have a young man just got out looking for motivation, looking to do something. With some of the advice you give him? You got a friend 15, 16 years old that you see has potential, but they going around and doing the wrong thing. With some of the advice you give him? Either one. Go first.
For me, to my 15, 16-year-old friend who's messing around, trying to be out in the street, whatever, I'd say if you have a talent or if you have a gift and you're wasting it by spending your time outside on some concrete, then you shouldn't have the gift in the first place. But if you believe in your own gift, then go chase it. Don't waste your time. Because you can't get the time back. Time is one thing that you can't receive back. You can spend your money, you can spend your clothes, you can do whatever, but you can't get your time back. And if you don't cultivate your gift, then you're not gonna see it grow.
If a brother just walked out of prison today, community is everything. Sometimes you gotta go back to the hood. Sometimes you go back and stay at mom's house. Sometimes you gotta stay at the program. There's a thing called the morning meetup. It's a brother from Jersey named David Shantz. There's a thing called the morning meetup. It's like $60 a month. Monday through Friday for 2 hours a day. They get online, man, and they build community speakers, authors, crypto. A little bit of everybody's on it. It's probably 400 people come on this thing every morning for 2 hours, and they just build for $70, Monday through Friday. That'd be getting a community of people who are thinking a certain way, going a certain way. They can actually, if you just follow along and just listen along, you're just going to pick up. And I come on there and speak. There's a lot of speakers come on that platform that you wouldn't get other places. Okay. You know what I'm saying? But we come on Dave's platform because we know what Dave's doing. He's trying to feed people mentally who are just trying to start out. And so I would definitely say check the morning meetup and get in that space. When I was working at the county jail in Atlanta, we were running a program. We run programs from prisons in person. And it was a young boy named Baby Drill. And he was in there. I put him in the program. I didn't know who he was. Put him in the program. Good young dude, man. And then he came home. Lo and behold, man, he's one of 21 Savage's artists. He's in the studio. He called us up. Yo, man, come through and see me, man. He just said, man, thank you for helping me while I was inside. And we sat in on one of his sessions, man. He's doing his thing. And he came home. He's in the studio every single day.
In the 2 weeks that he was back, he did like 40 songs or something.
He's working.
He's working. He's like, the first time, he might have not taken it serious. He might have been around some people that was doing some other stuff that got off track. Yeah. He's so focused, it's not funny right now. And to walk in and see this young man who I saw dressed in orange, now in the studio wearing his diamonds and jewels, but he's in that booth. And he's dead serious about being in that booth. He's like, you're not going to get me twice. So ideally, our young folks can learn from our mistakes. They don't have to experience them. So try to learn from somebody else who's already done it.
Yeah. Powerful. Definitely appreciate your time. Andre Norman, Brooks on the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast. Hey, real quick, before we get out of here, JPEG, please let the people know how, if they're comedians, if they're artists, if they do podcasts, they do music, how can they get their content on this app?
Send an email, bpm@andrenorman.com.
bpm@andrenorman.com.
And then prisonbillboards.com
is the website you can find all your stats.
All the stats will be on prisonbillboards.com.
Dope. Well, we definitely appreciate your time. That is all we have for you guys. If you guys don't have anything else, we're going to conclude, get up out of here. But the floor is yours, brothers. We appreciate you.
We're going to get some shout outs, man.
Go ahead.
21 Savage, gotta give him a shout out.
Metro Boomin,
Metro Boomin, we gotta give him a
Okay.
shout out.
Soundwave, Alchemist, Freddie Gibbs,
Okay.
Griselda. Yeah.
Any one of them brothers want to come on here too after hearing that, please do. We definitely appreciate y'all on
Yo,
that.
Jay-Z and Nas is from back in the day. Danny Dane, Nightmares of the Night. I listened to that. I was in the county jail. I called home on the phone to my girl house, and she played Nightmares on the phone. I'm in the county. I'm listening to Nightmares of the Night over the phone. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace, DMX. Rest in peace, Takeoff. Rest in peace, man, MO. I'm saying there's too many good dudes going down, man.
Yeah.
It's tough out here.
It's definitely tough out here. That's why we appreciate brothers like y'all spreading positivity, spreading strength,
Sure.
and doing the damn thing. Shout out to our bro Dev, who's always an exceptional connect.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And connecting the dots the right way, man. So we definitely appreciate y'all time. Please come again. Keep doing great things, and we can't wait to hear more.
All right.
Salute.
All right.